Fortnite Chapter 6 is already getting heavily leaked as we only have 20 days remaining of Chapter 2 Remix. From official Battle Pass skins that Epic Games have put right in front of our eyes this season that nobody noticed, all the way to Chapter 1 returning, first person arriving, and an explanation of the storyline transitioning into this new chapter in December, as well as a ton of brand new modes and our first look at the Remix finale that actually gets us there. Stick around for 480 to 600 seconds being the full length of this video to get all of that and more today. Stop, don't forget I'm an official Epic partner, so before you pick anything up from the shop, make sure to enter code FM1 inside there, being one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter, only 3 digits long. It would mean the world to me and my dog Charlie the Charcoal Pug. After all, we got a giant cutout to show our appreciation to you guys rocking the code. Last video I wanted to know the name of this, so here's a bunch of hearted comments on screen right now that got that right. Today, however, I want to know the name of this, so let me know down below in the comments, and if it gets hearted, it could be showed on screen in the next video, so make sure you subscribe now with all those noties on, because after all, we try and give different subscribers every single day too, with proof for that on screen recently right now. Just before we show these official Battle Pass skins, which are honestly going to blow your mind, as Epic Games don't usually reveal them this early on themselves, as Fortnite Remix has literally just been out for over a week now, as we've entered week 2 with the M&M Spaghetti Grotto and Minigun updates, which went from looking like this, obviously covered over in dirt with the Sky NPC on top, to completely uncovered so we can go inside. Hopefully you've all managed to acquire the second rap artist introduction mythic weapon, being the Rap God Minigun, despite Snoop Dogg at the Dog Pound. As soon we're going to be seeing more mythics introduced for 2 other artists, being Ice Spice and Juice WRLD, with the release of the first and only downtime update this season, 32.10, as Sheena posted, update announced for November 13th, Juice WRLD and Ice Spice updates, more Chapter 6 leaks or teasers, reload map rotation, kicks will be added to the game, the client update, and likely new live event files. We already know what Ice Spice's mythics are going to be, similar to Sky's when she was a mythic boss at the Shark in Chapter 2 Season 2, as Hypex posted, for those wondering, Ice Spice's mythics are gonna be a grappler that gives the ice effect and a scar that gives the spice/pepper as reference to her name. The only thing we know of Juice right now is the first of 2 outfits, being the Legends Never Die variant, what he's wearing on the cover art right here, which supposedly the upcoming Juice WRLD POI that's introduced seems to also be themed around the Legends Never Die album cover. The other Juice WRLD outfit, according to the article, which will be free between 1 AM ET on November 30th and 1 AM ET on December 1st, is cel-shaded and called Slayer Juice WRLD. Because of the fact it's cel-shaded, and this being a concept of what it could look like on screen right now, made by my thumbnail designer Boost Plant, who's linked in this video's description, data miners have obviously determined why this design was made by him in the first place. It's going to be a samurai variant of him, which was shown in the Already Dead music video, as of course this is anime kind of related, and all the anime outfits are cel-shaded, inspired by Demon Slayer also supposedly. This also nicely correlates to our Chapter 6 theme overall that we're going to be entering, which we're about to reveal in just a second. Before we do that though, as an important reminder, of course this is the timeline of everything Remix. We entered the Prelude event on November 1st, with Chapter 2 Remix starting November 2nd, but the finale, this event itself, occurs with all 4 artists around the island on November 30th. Thanks to Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg's friend over on Instagram, claiming recently he's worked with Epic Games with an inside video as to how Snoop Dogg will look like walking around the Dog Pound during this finale event concert, which, as you can tell from the leaked video, seems to be the size of Travis Scott from the initial first concert with a giant character on the island in Chapter 2 Season 2 originally, but will apply to all 4 artists making an appearance this season, with Juice WRLD obviously being introduced by then for week 4. Let's not forget though, this season and event overall, despite it seeming like a giant festival, and just like the Big Bang last year, there's going to be some story connotations of how everything makes sense in terms of the maps changing or us going onto a brand new island or islands like shown on the roadmap. This is our first look or indication as to what we can expect for Chapter 6, and it seems to be made up of floating islands, and those storyline connections with this event is going to be a remix version of the device in Chapter 2 Season 2, of course, that initially it occurred in. A bunch of files were re-added into a new folder, which codename for the Remix finale event is Quail in the files to do with the device lab event and all the sequences it went through. And with many players not knowing where the storyline's going right now, it's about to get very interesting, as Restro broke the full thing down right here, stating, while this season is mainly focused on bringing us back to a familiar world with a musical twist, we still got some lore from Hope that explains a few things from Chapter 5 and teases the future of Chapter 6's storyline. Following the Remix, the Prelude event, the Rift Beacon opened up a portal to the Chapter 2 Remix reality, which was teased in the Big Bang event. The Apollo Island becoming a separate reality is seemingly a consequence of the Big Bang. In the images provided, of course, he shows this opening from the Rift Beacon being activated, and also this section right here in the Big Bang event, which has a bunch of Chapter 2 Season 2 related skin props. Around the island are 4 audio logs of voicemails from Hope to Valeria, and throughout Hope's voicemails, she tries to get in contact with her older sister, who refuses to respond. Hope informs Valeria that she's leaving their home and it's up to Val to rebuild the island now. Hope revealed that Pandora's box is a part of a greater evil, something much bigger, and she believes she's tied to it, which is why she's leaving the island. So while we're in Chapter 2 Remix's reality right now, Hope Jones and likely the Oracle are currently journeying to the Chapter 6 island as we speak. And as a part of these images, he's included a lot of floating scenery, again to correlate to what we saw on the 2024 roadmap made up of floating islands for Chapter 6. Here's where it gets crazy though, with a fan favourite character potentially returning, as in her voicemail to Valeria, Hope also reveals that she can see the future with her art. All throughout Chapter 5, Hope has made graffiti of Dr. Sloan, and now in Chapter 2 Remix there's a doodle of Sloan on an art mural. There's a very high chance Sloan may be returning in Chapter 6. And this last post nicely ties onto Chapter 6 and some of the Battle Pass skins we have our first look at, as he states lastly in the Ghostly Director loading screen there are many teasers in the background for Chapter 6 which will be Japanese mythology themed and teasers for future skins next chapter. The same thing goes for the Meowdus loading screen, which teases 2 new skins for Chapter 6. So in this first image right here, as you can see, it shows a samurai kind of gas mask looking character and also another samurai character above, making up 2 of the skins. And then in the Meowdus loading screen it's less obvious, as he seems to be charging towards something which is stood over or just behind the screen that we can't see, as displayed in silhouette form these 2 characters. This season, yes, we only have 5 Battle Pass skins, but that's because it's only like 28 days or a month long. Typically we see 8 between level 1 and 100, including also the secret or unlockable skin. So as of now it's safe to say half of the Battle Pass for Chapter 6 Season 1 has officially been teased, but you may be wondering, despite the theme of these skins shown on the screens in this loading screen, where did this Japanese mythology theme come from? Well, allow me to explain. On the start date of this season, November 2nd, the leaks started pouring out from Wenso stating exclusive Chapter 6 Season 1 will be themed around samurais and Japanese mythology. I know this has been rumoured for a while, so I want to confirm it once and for all. Biomes on the map include shrine, rivers, plains, farmland and forest. The last season we saw a Japanese kind of theme or vibe to any of the locations, of course, was Chapter 4 Season 2 Mega, and the leaks from Wenso don't stop there, as supposedly we're seeing a new cat-like animal named Sprite that will be releasing in Chapter 6 Season 1. Air, water and basic types will have unique voice lines and expressions, are related to the upcoming shrines feature, and they say their goodbyes when they're near these shrines. Honestly not sure what to expect for these, but what is expected or got leaked literally so long ago now, I believe in Chapter 5 Season 3, was the proning mechanic, which we've had an update on. With the latest update, Epic updated the prone mechanic to detect the stance mode this mechanic might release in Chapter 6, with this being a concept look of how proning might look in Fortnite. Around the same time, data miners also found that there will be a swinging mechanic for Chapter 6, and this is our first look at it right now through like stages of the animation in image form. Based off of this, we can kinda guess how it's going to look or what objects we're going to be able to do it on, but we're still yet to get our first animated view in video form. Hypex made a good point on May 24th, yes, that long ago leaked, that they're working on the prone mechanic that we already talked about, possibly for Chapter 6 or the upcoming open world mode, which for those that don't know is completely separate to the LEGO mode, and this is the first image or look we have of it being worked on for over a year now, according to FNBR Buzz. To be clear about the new open world mode, it's completely separate to LEGO, and here's what we know so far. It will be an open world, as just mentioned, will introduce dynamic POIs. Dynamic POIs will have 3 tiers, maybe difficulty tiers, and will have bosses, wildlife, NPCs and more. A new mode, or one returning permanently should I say, however, that shocked the internet is Chapter 1 OG, if Remix wasn't already enough nostalgia this month. As Sheena stated on November 5th, Fortnite Chapter 1 returns next month. All Chapter 1 seasons will return, the seasons will return monthly, expected to be announced at the Game Awards, Build and Zero Builder supported, with a completely OG loot pool, and the information comes from an anonymous source that both him and Hypex can confirm. The very next day we got updates on this once again from Sheena. Chapter 1 is a new core mode for Fortnite. It will be released after Fortnite Chapter 6, and it will not replace Chapter 6, both modes will coexist. Some people were confused about this news, so here's some additional information. It was definitely a good move releasing this after Chapter 6, so it kind of makes people play the new version of Fortnite that we're going to be going into, instead of immediately just hopping back in time on OG to take away the player base from all the new stuff added. Speaking of new things added, despite us already discussing 4 of the 8 Battle Pass skins that we have a look at in these 2 loading screens, screens. Here are all of the Japanese mythology kind of themed skins on the Fortnite surveys right now, any of which could obviously be put into the Battle Pass, and I'm guessing if not, then they'll be released throughout the item shop in that season, Chapter 6 Season 1. We also recently got a brand new set of survey skins from Hypex, Chapter 6 Possible Season Theme Leak. Most skins in this recent survey have a hero theme with the same suit and logo on them. Of course, we know now based off the Japanese mythology theme leaks, this isn't going to be Chapter 6 Season 1, but potentially right here we could be looking at some of the characters or skins making up the Chapter 6 Season 2 Battle Pass. After all, we already know Epic Games are working ahead and have this update scheduled, with the December 1st update being confirmed to be Chapter 6 Season 1, December 10th 33.10 Winterfest, January 14th 33.20, February 4th 33.30 the final Season 1 of Chapter 6 update, then February 21st is the release of Chapter 6 Season 2. Starting December 1st, however, every single pass rewards that we can get is about to get a whole lot easier according to Fortnite posted on October 28th. Like the Battle Pass, you'll soon be able to progress your music and Lego passes through any experience in Fortnite. From clicking this, they simplify it by stating by December 1st, the release of Chapter 6 Season 1, all passes in Fortnite will progress simultaneously by earning XP from playing any experience. And with this replacing the current Battle Star system, whether we earn them from leveling up or buy levels, instead of buying levels to unlock rewards, we'll be able to now directly purchase pass rewards up to the allowed limit without progressing to them on any active pass you have purchased. Speaking of Battle Passes, but previous ones, as data miners have recently determined that a bunch of the assets from the old Battle Passes in Chapter 1 recently got added back into a certain category of the files, combined with the fact Fortnite OG is permanently returning going through all of the prior seasons, with each Battle Pass only being allowed to be purchased within each season. Many people are getting worried that we'll be able to obviously go back and actually get these old Battle Passes, considering we technically be in whatever season is rotating throughout Chapter 1 for the month. I highly doubt Epic Games would do this, as obviously they'd need to compensate the OGs that bought it back then with an additional style, like we recently saw with their slip up for reintroducing the limited time Paradigm outfit to the item shop. So for each entire Battle Pass, as you can imagine, this would be an incredible lot of work. With Battle Passes only being introduced in Chapter 1 Season 2, however, only going up to tier 70 then instead of 100 like we saw introduced in the season after Chapter 1 Season 3. Considering the Renegade Raider and Aerial Assault Trooper technically weren't in any Battle Pass, just the season shop prior to the Battle Pass even existing, it wouldn't surprise me if these two skins or this season shop returned, then granting selectable styles for everything in here to the incredibly OG existing owners. After all, everything else OG's returning, such as the loot pool, but going forward, speaking of the loot pool, the only thing we know of right now that's intended to return in Chapter 6 is a weapon that not many people will have used, being the quad launcher. In the files, this recently got updated, as you can see from the images comparing the old and Chapter 6 variant, and to be honest, I think the old version does look a lot better. I suppose this is a direct representation of Fortnite being a more cartoon-themed game back then when it was initially introduced, in comparison to now where they're going for more of a slow realism progression look. Either way, this weapon is definitely going to be one that looks very interesting in the new camera POV shown for the first time at the State of Unreal livestream earlier this year, being first person. This was the only clip we've seen officially from Fortnite right now as to how they're working on it or it's going to develop and look. Who knows, as Fortnite have added kicks as a new cosmetic category now that we can kind of customize between our characters. Maybe with the introduction of first person they add weapon charms that were in the files since Season X but never came to the game. Drop a like if you'd like to see that and subscribe with all notifications turned on so you don't miss any future uploads, but don't forget I'm an Epic partner, so enter code FM1 now or the next time you log on, or even in the web shop, as nobody's doing it like me and Charlie the Charcoal Pug, with a giant cutout of our code to simply show our love and support back to you guys rocking it in the hashtag FM1 squad. As for where you go to now, click either of these two videos YouTube's recommended you specifically on screen whilst you wait for the next upload I do publish here on the channel.